We've heard a lot about protest groups like Queers for Palestine recently. They hate Israel. But has anyone got the number of Queers for Yemen? I want to find out when they're protesting about the 13 people set to be stoned to death for homosexuality by the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels. Oh, and another 35 people have been detained in the Ib province in Yemen, also on homosexuality charges. Now, most people don't know anything about this because they're too busy opining on Israel. The world is busy obsessing over Israel's actions in Gaza, a war that was brought on by the mass rape, murder and kidnapping of civilians by Palestinian terrorists. But surely they'll be out in force this week in London for the gay Yemenites, right? As thousands take to the streets in London in weekly anti-Israel rallies, some even chanting in favour of the Houthis just because they like the idea of them being anti-Israel, and as Britain is engaged in bombing Houthi targets in response to their attacks on international shipping in the Red Sea, this Houthi-run court in Yemen has sentenced 13 people to public execution for being gay. Now think about that. It's 2024, and people are set to be killed in public for being gay. In Yemen, that's usually done by stoning. That's having rocks thrown at them until they die. In 2023, a UN Security Council report said that the Houthis reportedly detained children as young as 13 years old, some of whom are accused of indecent acts for their alleged homosexual orientation. Meanwhile, the Houthis, who are a proxy force of Iran, claim that they're attacking our ships in the Red Sea because of their humanitarian concerns for the people in Gaza. They're humanitarians. They've got a catchy slogan too. God is great, death to America, death to Israel, a curse on the Jews, victory to Islam. I guess you could say that's a does what it says on the tin approach to branding. So who are the Houthis? They belong to the Zaidi minority and come from Yemen's mountainous north. The Zaidis are an offshoot of Shiite Islam. They emerged in the 1990s as a hardline group to push for a theocracy, and they're backed by Iran. Since 2015, the Houthis have been fighting in Yemen against a pro-government coalition which is led by Saudi Arabia. The conflict there has left hundreds of thousands dead and millions on the edge of famine. Yet protesters on the streets here in the UK, in America and around Europe aren't too bothered about all that. It's Israel that seems to get them all wound up, and its reaction to the terrorist slaughter that its civilians suffered in their own homes.